From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. With the latest update today about the CR for Stimulus 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 that would get a potential stimulus check into other bodies of legislation and get it out faster, in addition to the MSC's multiple stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks in the Build Back Better Act. We have all the breaking details in today's recording, plus SS200, the money that would go on top of your existing benefits if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, and the opportunity of the president to repurpose money across the board. We have all the incredible details in today's recording direct from Santa Monica, California. We'll be going over the passage in the House in the last few days of not just the Build Back Better Act, but now CR for Stimulus 2.0. It is huge, and it's heading to the Senate, where the senators say that they're ready to merge it with their version 3.0. And these are Senate Republicans. Wow. A new spirit of compromise among Republicans and Democrats. Both the House and Senate say that we may be getting money faster and quicker than we've ever seen during this administration. It's breaking news today on Afternoons LA. Then we'll be turning to the big money across this incredible recon of at least $15,000 of checks. I'm going to show you how you get more of it. And then I'm going to show you how viewers are getting $10,000 to $20,000 this week today from a third stimulus. Boy, it's still paying out, and boy, it's a lot of money. Then we'll be looking back at the opportunity of the President of the United States to maintain a campaign promise and to get it done. It's SS200, $200 a month that goes on top of your existing benefits across the board. Then the opportunity to repurpose the stimulus. This could have been done different times throughout the history of this channel in the year and a half. It could have delivered no less than probably 4 different stimulus checks. But now there's another opportunity abounds, and I'm going to go over whether Joe Biden will take this opportunity in today's recording. We have a lot of big money, and we have a lot of exciting news. The toast is toasting. No, it's afternoons. The Super Bowl is Super Bowling. The bacon is bacon. The bob is bobbing. The yaya is yayaing. The Crayola is just Crayola-ing. Those incredible details as a big Afternoons of Afternoons LA heats up. Because guess what? What's happening right now is the afternoons are afternooning right now on Afternoons LALATE. The excitement starts now. What a big, exciting afternoon we have, as the afternoons are afternooning and the House is housing, because the House has passed the forced stimulus recon, the Build Back Better Act, sent it to the Senate. But guess they've also sent there? They have also now sent the CR for Stimulus 2.0. And we're going to talk about the Senate's changes that would merge it with 3.0. Wow, this is huge. It's breaking news, and you're only going to hear it on this channel. It's happening today on Afternoons LA. Then we'll be looking at the Russian sanctions, as Vladimir Putin is likely to invade Ukraine this week. Is that invasion teeing up a stimulus check for you? This is peculiar, but it only happens on this channel. Vladimir, get us our stimulus check. Yeah, who had thought that I would be making this recording no less than a year ago? And then 2 years ago, SS200 was promised to millions of Americans. It did not happen. Now we have a new opportunity, and it's called SS200 2.0. It's incredible, great news, and we have it direct from Santa Monica, California today. I'm excited you're here. This, my friends, is LALATE, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, but I need your assistance. Go under this video right now and subscribe. I want you to subscribe to bring this channel to number 2 financial news channel in America. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member of Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. So many details to go over in today's recording, and we're going to start with the Build Back Better Act, because guess what? There's a lot of checks in there. It passed in the House. It's now in the Senate. It will get done. Joseph Biden says he wants to send out all these incredible checks from the Build Back Better Act right away. He says he's ready. And there's at least $15,000, but upwards of $60,000 of checks in there. Let's look at each of them with the first cluster, hazard pay. Got in there. For my essential workers, 1 more year earned income tax credit. $4,000 of elder care. Got it in there. $3,600 for the CTC child tax credit. Learn about it at irs.gov. 1 more year of that as well. $4,000 of care for young children. $550 checks for the Pell Grant recipients. Then they got in there the big money to repair your home if you live in a low-income community. Wow, there is a lot of money, and that is just the first of 3 clusters. We're going to go over the other 2 clusters and the 3 add-ons, but now it's time for the first add-on. It comes from here in Southern California, and guess who got it for you? Maxine Waters. It is one of the most exciting provisions of this recon. It is money to buy your first home. She got it in there. $25,000, just a little bit less. And again, this is money to buy your first home, given to the seller from the federal government at the time of escrow. It's huge. It's absolutely incredible. It's one of the many House provisions that is gotten in there and is staying in there, now landed in the Senate. Now let's go to the second cluster checks, and that second cluster has a lot of money. Home repairs and paid leave. The home repairs is to weatherize your home. The paid leave is if you're sick due to illness or death and have to stay home, or you have to stay home due to someone else's death, then it's $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. It is $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. It is $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? 46 weeks per year. So yeah, this is a lot of money, folks. $46,000, and it's W-2 1099, so it's everyone. If you don't work, but your son or daughter does work, they're going to get the check to take you to the doctor whenever they have to take you to the doctor, if they have to take off from work. It's incredible. And that is the second cluster of checks. Now time for the second add-on. It comes from the incredible Bob Casey out of Pennsylvania. It is free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. You know the number. Jump in the live chat right now. You remember the number. It starts with a 2. Can you see it? Oh, I see it. There we go. It is $250 billion. A free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities, just a little bit less. Got it in there. Time for that third cluster checks. Deliciousness. True deliciousness. More delicious than a pistachio Super Bowl commercial. They got in there money for the free internet, money for the farmers, money for the independent contractors. Then they got in there the free school meals for all checks, the seniors, 2 provisions on the House, 3 coming from the Senate. On the seniors, they got in there the Medicaid gap fix and the hearing checks on the House side. But the senators vowed to add 3 other checks. What are they? Dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Wow, it's huge, which is par for the course of what we're talking about with adding checks to this recon on the Senate side. You know the last add-on, the third of 3 add-ons. What is it? 3 letters. It starts with the letter M right in the live chat. I bet I can see it. There it is. Someone wrote it. It is MSC. MSC is going into this recon. So says the senators. Thank goodness. How much is it? Who gets it? Where does it go? How do you get it? Where does it land? All those incredible details we're going to go over right now. First, what is MSC? It refers to monthly IRS stimulus check sent out from the IRS to you on a monthly basis. Differentiates itself from the rest of the checks in the incredible Build Back Better Act, which we're still going over, because guess what? Those checks are not necessarily all monthly, and they certainly don't come from IRS. There's a lot of those other checks, 50 to 60,000, but these are coming from IRS. Okay, who gets it? The individuals who get it would be the same individuals who got a third stimulus check, says legislators to tens of thousands of viewers of this channel since last year. Single individuals, 75,000 less annual income, you get it. Married couple, 150,000 less annual income, you get it, but it's doubled. Family of 4, you get it as well, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you also get it. Adult dependents would additionally get it. Now, here's some things to remember about these checks. Number 1, it ain't income, so it's not taxable. Number 2, it is offered on a nationwide basis, not on a state basis. Number 3, it lands direct deposit if that was what was on your last tax return, otherwise in the mail. And finally, How much? $2,000 the first month, $1,000 after, for up to 6 months. It's incredible. That's what those legislators represent. And guess what? They vow to put it in there on the Senate side. So the question is, how do they put it in there? Let's go over those details right now. The way they put it in there is during the Senate modification. The Senate modification is where that legislation is right now. It landed from the House in the Senate. And the senators would first add provisions to this incredible recon that is upwards of several thousands of pages in a Senate subcommittee. Then they have a finished Senate bill at that point. Then they called for a Senate floor vote. Then a two-day vote-a-rama. Done. Deal. Signed. Sealed. But there's an easier way to get a check out to you. And the easier way is putting that check into a smaller package that does not need a recon, goes by bipartisan support, has an inherent deadline, and can go out quick across the board. It was first debuted on this channel 2 years ago, and it's called CR for Stimulus. My creation, my idea. But it was brought back in the mix 3 Saturdays ago. And now it has birthed not just its original incarnation, CR for Stimulus 1.0, but now 2, 3, and potentially 4. Let's go over all the incredible details of what's going on by looking back to 2020. In 2020, the pandemic had just started, and millions of Americans had gotten a first stimulus package in their hand. But then they needed more money, so they were told about a second stimulus package. They heard about it in spring of 2020. Negotiators were the following. On behalf of the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House out of San Francisco. On behalf of the Republicans, Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary out of New York. The negotiations started on this multi-thousand-page third stimulus package in the spring, and those negotiations had no deal. Summer, no deal. Fall, no deal. Winter, no deal. And by that point, I said, you know what? This ain't working. I need something else to get that money out the door. So I thought this was the equation. I needed something that was not going to be a package because this package was too big. It was 3,000 pages in length. That's why they couldn't agree. Number 2, I needed something that needed bipartisan support. Number 3, something that had an inherent deadline because this was sort of like a Super Bowl kicker. Just kick the ball. Oh, you hit the goalpost. We need something that could get done right then and there. And I found it. Continuing resolution. Continuing resolution. What is it? It is a budget bill that's done every 3 to 6 months to fund the federal government. The reason I liked it was it could fit all the parts of what I needed. First, it's done by bipartisan support. Democrats and Republicans like it, and they always get it done. Number 2, it has an inherent deadline. Maybe passed over an extra day, a few days, maybe a week, maybe a month, but not several months, because no one wants the federal government to default, no Republican nor Democrat. Number 3, it's small. Number 4, you just insert it in there. So in December 2020, I made it the first recording, but prepared for it. I thought about how to advocate for it, how to make the creation, and then how to be prepared for the criticism. And then I went on air. It was December 2020, and this was the recording I made to viewers. I said, hey, everybody, it's LALATE, and it's December 2020, and we've been watching for 11 months the negotiations of the third stimulus package. No deal. So I needed something else that would work, and I found it. It's called CR for Stimulus. The concept is that in December 2020, the federal government needs to pass a budget bill. It has an inherent deadline. It goes by bipartisan support. If we insert a stimulus check in there, it could go out and we get this month. Do you like the idea? Viewers love the idea. So we pushed, and the hashtag campaign started. All my creation, all my idea, while the rest of the country was still looking at the second stimulus package. If you remember that hashtag campaign right in the live chat right now, it's CR for Stimulus. Immediately, the criticisms came on in, and they're exactly what I anticipated across the board. LALATE doesn't belong in there. It doesn't belong in there. You're crazy. I was ready for it. What do you mean? It doesn't belong in there because it is a bill to fund the federal government, not to fund your wallet, not to fund the American people's wallet. I said, you're right. It doesn't belong in there. It doesn't mean they can't do it. Since the beginning of time, Congress has passed legislation where they insert money in there that doesn't belong in there. During the pandemic, they've been notorious about this. Republicans and Democrats, both alike, they have included provisions to fund foreign military governments in COVID relief bills, to build a new FBI building in a COVID relief bill, to expand the Department of Copyrights in a COVID relief bill. It doesn't belong in there. Our money doesn't belong in there, but we should put it in there. Push. And we did. And then one morning we woke up. We were told stimulus was going in the continuing resolution. We thought we had won until we saw it was unemployment stimulus. Sorry, try again. So we pushed again, and finally it got in there. The $600 stimulus check that millions of Americans got in December 2020 was my creation. It was never supposed to be in a continuing resolution. We were twiddling our thumbs and waiting for it to come in a second stimulus package, but instead you got it in something else called the continuing resolution. My idea. We made history, I made history, you made history, and it went out. Ironically, what happened after that? Second stimulus package never passed, never got a bill, never got a vote, never had a second stimulus check. Thank goodness for CR for stimulus. So 3 Saturdays ago, I brought it back on air on this channel. I said, you know what? It looks a little bit similar. It's been 11 months of negotiations again. It's a package, thousands of pages in length. These things are too big. They need to be smaller. And it does not have bipartisan support, and the negotiations between two people. You want to get it done a different way? Do you want to do something we've done before? Viewers said, oh my goodness, are you going to say it? I said, I am. CR for stimulus is back on, baby. And they said, do it. And guess what happened? In less than 1 week, not one, but 3 other CR for stimuluses have heated up. The first in the House, the second in the Senate, and the third in the Senate. Let's go over the status of each of those after the commercial break. But first, I'm going to give you an overview of what's at hand. First, House Democrats, literally minutes after my recording started to air, said exactly the same thing I was saying for the first time ever. We support the Build Back Better Act, the forced stimulus recon. It will get done, but we can't wait for it. We need to do other pieces of economic legislation, and we need them to go out right away. So we're going to pass one within 24 hours, and they did. They did. That now is landed in the Senate. Wow. Meantime, the Senate Republicans, you heard me right, Republicans, have said we're very happy with what the House Democrats have done. We have our version, my goodness, CR for Stimulus 3.0, and we're going to merge it with 2.0. Wow. And we're going to do it very quickly. My goodness, what's going on? I'll explain in the second half. It's Seats for Stimulus 2.0. Then we'll be looking to the Russian situation. It is CR for Stimulus 4.0. And why is the Russian invasion of Ukraine anticipated for this week, causing Vladimir Putin to perhaps get you a stimulus check? Not have his own wallet, but inherently perhaps helping you get a stimulus check? I'll have the latest details in this recording. Then we'll be looking back to SS200, a campaign promise, but now back in the mix. It's SS200 2.0. And while promised to be 6 to 12 months at about $1,200, I'm going to show you how Joe Biden can get it to you lifetime. Lifetime, that's $2,400 a year, a lifetime. So if you live 10 years, that's $24,000. It's coming up in the second half of this video. Plus, how to repurpose existing funds of money and get it out to you. Then we'll be turning back to the big money you can get right today. It's third stimulus. Stay to the very end. I have a lot of checks coming up for you. First, second, third, and also how to get this incredible sums of money. And then I have my personal commentary of the situation across the board. Boy, we have a big second half of this recording. I'm really excited for you and all these incredible sums of money. And the situation is far from over. All these incredible details and how to get this big third stimulus money coming up in the second half. But first, my friends, here is a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. And here is that community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live
daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE as the Senate changes will be great as CR 3.0 is vowed to be merged to 2.0. Oh my goodness. We'll go over the incredible big checks of this fourth stimulus recon that is still in the works and will get done. And Joe Biden says he's ready to send out these checks. My goodness. These are incredible great news, and it's all heating up in the second half of this video. Then we'll be turning to the big exciting money. That is third stimulus. Viewers have gotten $10,000 to $20,000 this week. I'm going to show you how to get those sums of money. And we'll be turning to SS200, the ability to get you additional $200 a month on top of your existing benefits. Wow. Those details plus the opportunity to repurpose money, it's all coming up in the second half of this video. I'm excited you're here. This, my friends, is LALATE, the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America. But I need your assistance for us to become number 2. I want you to go under this video right now and subscribe. Subscribe and become a subscriber to the fastest growing channel. Bring us to number 2. Like the video, 3,000 likes. Sign up for those LALATE alerts, a link to which is under the video's description. And also become a member to get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, and away we go. We left off before the commercial break going over CR for stimulus 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go over the details of each of them, starting right now. CR for stimulus 1.0 is the original version on this channel that uses a continuing resolution. And that continuing resolution has great news going into this afternoon. Number 1, that the Democrats believe that they can get this done in the month of February, that they're not going to kick the can, they're going to get it done this month. So, Senator John Tasser, who's a Democrat from Montana, believes that if you get 4 key senators to agree upon the price tag of the entire continuing resolution, then we're done. He says maybe a few extra days to write it up, but the price tag is all you got to do. This is the budget bill to fund the federal government, run the national parks, the federal government, and that is where you insert a stimulus check in potentially. So those 4 people include Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, and Patrick Leahy. So you want to advocate to 2 of those people the following messages. First, you want to advocate that they get the continuing resolution done this month. Number 2, you want to advocate to them that they do not do a stopgap and extend this over to another month. And number 3, you want them to insert a stimulus check in there because guess what? You're owed it. There's a lot of reasons to say why you need a stimulus check in this continuing resolution. Here's number 1. You've supported the Democrat senators for the Build Back Better Act for months, and they haven't gotten it done. So if they haven't gotten it done, you've had their back. You should be rewarded because you've been patient. You deserve a stimulus check. Number 2, senators have this midterm election just a blink away. And if they want to win the midterm elections, they have to remember that they need your support. The way they get your support is doing it the way they did last time. CR for Stimulus 2020 worked because the Democrats then wanted you to vote Democratic for senators in Georgia, whose race was the following month or a month and a half later. And then the way they did it was they put in a stimulus check in the continuing resolution, CR for Stimulus 2020. The concept is the same right now. If they want your support, as Democrats in the Senate, they need to put a check in there as well. And Republicans want to do the same thing because Republicans want your support. They'll take credit for giving you a stimulus check as well. Then, the legislators you advocate to are Leahy, that's Senator Patrick Leahy, he is a Democrat from Vermont, and Chuck Schumer, a Democrat from New York. Advocate for that 3 provisions across the board. And with that, let's go into the exciting details of CR for Stimulus 2.0 and 3.0. So 2.0, very fascinating. So 2.0 was a proposal on the books from those House Democrats, but now it's a reality. It came after House Democrats said, we like the recall, the Build Back Better Act, but we can't wait any longer. And those comments came from Representative Pete Aguilar, California. He says, we do have our eye on the economic recovery. There will be absolute pieces of legislation, pieces, plural, as we've discussed, to alleviate the supply chain issues and tamper down inflationary pressures. What is he talking about? Well, we need money, economic relief. That's different than just the Build Back Better Act, which is social reform and economic relief. Economic relief is not dental, vision, or hearing. That's social reform. So that passed 2 Fridays ago in the House. It is now in the Senate. Well, guess what? The Senate Republicans, you heard me right, have now seen that and say, you know what? Good. We're ready to merge the two together because guess what? We need to merge them across the board and we need to do them quickly. Wow. What's going on here? Senator Todd Young, Republican, says, my hope is that the process will continue to move forward. The Democrats passed their bill in the House. Now we, as senators, Republicans, can go to conference and come up with a piece of legislation that's more reflective of what we can produce in the Senate. We, Senator Republicans, will work very quickly to improve what we've done here in the Senate, and then we'll deal with the House Democrats and merge them together. Wow, it's incredible. Why this new element of bipartisanship? It's for a very simple reason. A hyphenated single word. No, 2 words. Midterm elections. Midterm, yeah, it's because midterm is okay, whatever. Midterm is 1 word, so it's midterm. Yeah, it's a hyphenated 2 words. Okay, midterm elections. It ceased for stimulus. Why? Because Democrats and Republicans both understand that the midterm elections is going to be based upon the economy. It's going to be based upon the economy. And the way you win a seat is you prove to the voter that you've done something to fix the problems. And doing something is passing legislation. Complaining about it, saying you're going to promise to do something, no one's buying that anymore. They want to see action. And that's why Republicans are coming to the plate. And that's what tees up then at CR for Stimulus 4.0. Wow. Can Vladimir Putin be getting you a stimulus check? From Russia with love. Ironically, he may be able to. Well, it was no less than 4 months ago that I told you in 2022, the story to watch is not so much inflation rates, interest rate spikes, or transitory issues. It's a potential invasion of Ukraine by Vladimir Putin. Well, a lot of major press outlets believe that the invasion will happen this coming week, and they know the day and the hour where Vladimir Putin will invade Ukraine. What's at issue is Senate legislation about this. It has been over 2 weeks since a bipartisan group led by Marco Rubio, Republican, and Bob Menendez, Democrat, in the Senate have introduced a very small piece of legislation to sanction Russia for potential invasion. You don't sanction him after he invades. And the bipartisan legislation was supposed to be passed last week. I think it's going to be passed this week because it has been very extenuous. As Bob Menendez even went to Chuck Schumer saying, what's going on? You got to pass this. He's going to invade. Vladimir Putin is going to invade, and you need to pass this. So this is the third opportunity to put a potential stimulus check in the provision across the board. And there you go. That is CR for Stimulus 1, 2, and 3, and 4.0. Very different opportunities of bipartisan small legislations, not all CRs per se, but in motif, very functionally the same. And those opportunities to put it in there would both help Republicans and Democrats in the midterm elections, and of course, would help you. Now, let's turn to 2 other things that Joseph Biden can do to get you money. And the first one is repurposing existing sums of money. And the second one is SS200. All right, repurposing existing funds of money. How does this work? Since the start of the pandemic, there have been all these federal departments set up to send out relief, COVID relief. And the programs are supposed to run, let's say, 6 months, 12 months. The programs end, but the money is still there because a lot of people don't want the money. If you watch this channel when it launched last year, I featured the Main Street Lending Program in about maybe 7 videos, 10 videos. I got to tell you, the videos were less watched than Real Housewives of Dallas. It was just it's unpopular videos. Well, guess what? No one wanted that money either. So the money just sat there. So where did that money go? It got eventually returned back by Steve Mnuchin. But that's an example. They have all these programs, and sometimes people don't like the programs because they're not favorable terms. The money sits there. So the president can repurpose the money and send it out to you. Can you imagine this? This has happened twice and can happen again under Joe Biden. Let's look at the equation and what happened previously. Previously, Donald Trump understood that millions of Americans needed more weeks of unemployment benefits boost. FPUC. Remember that thing? It was $600 a week that went on top of your UI and PUA. Millions of Americans needed it, but he did not want to go back to Congress to ask for it because that's what it required. So what did he do? He looked around to see who had extra money, and he found it at FEMA. Yeah, FEMA, that deals with tornadoes, hurricanes, natural disasters, said, you know what? You're going to send out that money as LWA, extra weeks of unemployment. It was repurposed by a simple phone call, not an act of Congress, not an executive order. It's just a phone call. Well, Donald Trump had a second opportunity to do this as well, and he did not do it. I think it cost him the midterm elections. What happened on this one? Donald Trump knew that there was $550 billion at SBA, Small Business Administration, for programs like the Main Street Lending Program that were big flops. No one wanted the money or liked the programs, so the programs ended and the money was still there. He should have picked up the phone and contacted SBA saying, I'm going to repurpose that money as 2 stimulus checks, send it out right now. You would have gotten the 2 checks before the midterm elections, and you may have voted differently if one of the 2 candidates had just sent you $5,000 in stimulus checks right before the midterm elections. Really bad blunder by Trump. Which then brings us back to Biden. Biden has this opportunity to repurpose existing sums of money for you. If you found that money, send it to me on private message, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. A lot of viewers like searching things out. This would be money for programs that have now ended and the money is still sitting around. Purple Hawks, circle and find that money and send me private messages and I'll feature it on air. Which then brings us now to the second opportunity that what Joe Biden can do. It is the opportunity of a lifetime, SS200. Let's go over what SS200 is. SS200 manifested itself, first showed up in January 2020. It was a campaign promise by Liz Warren running for president. She vowed to reform the Social Security Administration by raising your benefits up one big time, applying a new benchmark, removing the asset cap, removing the income cap, removing the marriage penalty. She then had it introduced to the Senate floor for a Senate discussion. Ron Wyden really liked it. He was hand in hand with her on this provision. Chuck Schumer liked it as well. He was part of the introduction. But Elizabeth Warren eventually withdrew from her run for president, and Joe Biden said, you know what, I like her policies. I'm going to adopt her policies for my campaign as well. And he did. He put it right in. He was going to give you $200 a month. And then when he won the elections, President-elect Joe Biden published at joebiden.com, and it's still written there, you can go read it yourself, that he will be giving $200 a month additional to people on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rail benefits, because you need it across the board. Liz Warren vowed to give it to you for 6 to 12 months, but the kid in red today is going to show you how the guy in D.C. can give it to you lifetime, not $1,200, but $2,400 on average lifetime. That is a big, did I say that right? 2,400. Did I say 24,000? I don't know. Bipartisanship. Is that 3 words? Is it 2 words? I don't know. How he can get this to you a lifetime. Let's go over the details right now. The President of the United States has an inherent authority to pick up the phone and contact his federal agencies to say, you know what? I want to give you guidance as to how I want you to change the guidelines. What's going on? Federal agencies determine how they do things themselves. They do not do it based upon act of Congress. So they want to put extra salt in the memo. They can put extra salt. They want to put extra sugar in there. They don't need Congress to approve it. Now, Joe Biden can pick up the phone and encourage them to do something, and he has done that before. He previously picked up the phone and called the Department of Agriculture saying, hey, you ain't paying enough money for SNAP. Pay more money. And they are. They now are paying 25% more a lifetime to millions of Americans because of that phone call from Joe Biden. Not executive order, just a phone call. Well, if you were with this channel a year ago, there was a guy that I featured on this channel called Commissioner Saul. Commissioner and head of the Social Security Administration, Joe Biden despised him. He was a Trump appointee, and you didn't get your checks on time because of this guy. So Joe Biden came in and fired Commissioner Saul, put his guy or gal in there. So all that Joe Biden has to do right now is pick up the phone and say, hey, it's your president. I got you the job. Change the benchmark from Social Security, SSI, and SSDI, from COLA to inflation within 30 days and get the money done. This is huge. How does this work? Let's go over all the incredible details of how this functionally works. We'll go over the money of it, the calculation, and then we'll also go over how it actually gives you great sums of money. The way it works is very simply. Your benefits currently for decades are paid based upon a benchmark called COLA. COLA is determined every November, December for the next year. Between 2014, 2015, your COLA didn't go up. 2017, 2018 didn't go up. So your checks look the same year after year. The only reason they went up this year is because inflation has been out of control. So 5.9% was the COLA number released last December. Your benefits went up 5.9%. Wouldn't you have preferred your benefits to go up 7.5% instead of 5.9%? That's 2 extra percent, and 2 extra percent is an additional $200 a month for millions of Americans on average. All that Joe Biden has to do is pick up the phone and say, hey, Social Security Administration, get rid of COLA. We're using inflation as your new benchmark going forward. There you go. That is $200 more per month, not just for 6 to 12 months, like $1,200 like Liz Warren promised or Joe Biden promised. This is $200 a month, lifetime. Now, I have a lot of things to go over about this, and I want to address them right here because it doesn't really fit later in the broadcast. It's a personal commentary. You know, in the last year, I've covered a lot of year and a half. This channel's at year 1.7, like year and 3/4. I've covered a lot of different financial subjects, but this is the subject matter that has often been asked the most about, SS200. There was a time in which it was very heated and people wanted to know about it, so I covered it hourly. And then it sort of fell by the wayside for several months, and people said, whatever happened to SS200? And I'm like, well, there's no real update because they're not really doing it. Now I have it back in the mix with the opportunity to get it out the door. I got to tell you, I'm doing this with a lot of tough love, and I'm going to come in deep, and I may sound like I'm very tough on you, but I'm going to do it right now. There are some people who every time it gets to an issue of SSI and SSDI, and I show you, here's a way to get extra money, all they can say is extra money. That's horrible news. What? Here's an extra $2,400 a year. That is awful news. That's like the world is ending. They literally see something and they think about a negative to the positive news. 99% of the time, the negative version in their mind is 100% true. Untrue. So please, if you are on benefits and you're hearing this recording talking about the great possibility of giving you additional $200 a month on top of your existing benefits, think to yourself, were you that person who day in, day out asked, where's that additional $200? I want it. And now I'm going over it for you. And you say, I don't like it because something else is going to come back from it that's bad. No, it is though people have been predisposed to think that everything that's good has a bad behind it. Untrue. Please do not think that everything good has a negative reaction to it. It is not the case. Please don't do that. And it's very contagious. So please don't do that. And I won't allow it on this channel at all. It's as though to say something like, here's a very, very simple example. I'm going to say this example to you right now. You know that Social Security is taxable. So if you, let's say you make $15,000 a year in Social Security, you have to pay taxes on it. So if I tell you your Social Security will go up another $2,400 a year, there could be someone who says, oh, well, taxes will be taken out of it. So that's horrible. Well, taxes are already taken out of your Social Security. So you already have to pay taxes on your Social Security. So to think that it's horrible because something already is there that's at issue, it just, you need to not do that. It's not a good way to think in life, that everything good has a bad to it. All right, let's go into Then the exciting great news about third stimulus that is repeated in fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus has a lot of incredible provisions across the board in it, and boy, are there a lot. What I want you to know is that as a Purple Hawk, a member of this channel, your job is to know every provision of every check, of every body of legislation that gets you money. So, as a Purple Hawk, the concept of being a subscriber to this channel is you want to learn how to get money from 20, 30 different directions. If there's a money over here, you grab it. There's money over here, you grab it. You know how the provisions work across the board. So the antithesis of a viewer of this channel saying, all I know is the mailbox, and all I know is what's in the mailbox, and I don't want to learn about anything. So you need to really learn. And we've gone over the four symbols recon. Now we're going to go back into it. And we're going to go over each of these incredible checks. If you don't understand a provision, send me a private message. It's so important you know every provision. And sometimes if someone says, I understand that provision, and maybe I see the same comment twice, it means I didn't explain it right. So I learned from you. That's how I did the earliest videos of this channel. I learned from the viewers. When they said, explain this, I said, oh, a lot of people need this explained. I think this is a big issue. So I will explain it. So here we go. Get your pen and paper ready. They got the SALT cap, $10,000. No, it'll be raised to $72,500 what you can deduct and state and local taxes on that federal tax return. They got cheaper prescription medication in there across the board, growing from 10 medications at day one to 30 medications at year 2028. Medicare Part B, D, most expensive medications, cancer, arthritis, diabetes, dramatically sliced and diced in price. Then they got job training, $40 billion of free job training checks in there. They got that Medicaid gap fix that provide years of subsidized private insurance, lowering your providing you a workaround plan that provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those 12 Republican states where the governors vowed never to pay for Obamacare. They got in there the money for nutrition, $65 per month. They got in there the big money for the hazard pay. Learn about that at irs.gov, the earned income tax credit. The CTC, one more year. Learn about that as well. It's at irs.gov. The $550 check for the college students. $12,500 for the electric vehicle. Number one, must be U.S. auto manufactured. Number two, it is made in the United States in U.S. territories. And number three, it's not a refund check. It's a check. It's a reduction of the price at the time of purchase. Wow, it's incredibly huge. Which then brings us to the housing. Two provisions which are new, which are to weatherize your home so that your home sustains natural disasters like when Mitch wears lobster shorts. And then home repairs. But then the other provisions under housing are repeat from third stimulus. And I'll show you how to get to all those incredible sums of money right now. You ready? Get that pen and paper out. Let's go over the details. Here we go. This was 6 months ago. And boy, look how much the numbers have gone up. Now it's upwards of 40,000. Where do you get this money? 6 places. You ready? Here you go. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. There are 3 musts. You must reach out to all 6 places. You must get multiple applications to file, and you must get multiple rounds. More about those rounds in a second. Next, you want to get utility assistance because of COVID. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000 a year. So get that money right now. Reach out to all utility companies. Then get SNAP. You get it from Department of Agriculture, and reach out to Department of Agriculture right now to get SNAP. It is easier than a third stimulus check. It is money for your food. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, it's $250,000. Get 3 or more items. Here we go. Nisi had 3 items. Started us with Art Sullivan. Inspired Mark was at 2 items at 32. Then he went to 3 items at 50. Now at 100. Now at more items at 100,000. Lorraine at 105, heading to 120. Which shows us the incredible story of Johnny. Embodies everything about what's at hand. If you're on the live chat, you've had and gotten big money from third stimulus posted right now. And if you've gotten third stimulus money in the last few weeks, send to me in private message on social media. I'll feature it live on air. Johnny's incredible story started several weeks ago. He was one of several viewers who started the week at 0. By the middle of the week, he had gotten $45,000 from 3 programs. Imagine. By the end of the week, he had gotten 7 programs approved at $80,000. Now, the reason why I like Johnny's story, part one, is not the 8,000, it's the 7 programs. He had to have made the phone call to at least 15 programs because you can have a 50% rejection rate. Keep on making those phone calls to get those sums of money. Part 2 of Johnny's incredible story came the following Monday. His 2 family members said, "What'd you do last week?" He said, "I got money from Third Stimulus." Third Stimulus from who? LA. "I thought there was no money in Third Stimulus except a $14 stimulus check." He says, "No, that's what other channels cover. That's what broadcast channels cover." He goes over the details, and I got the money. "Show me, Johnny." And he did. And those 2 family members each got $50,000. Part 3 of Johnny's incredible story came in recent weeks. I was watching one of the Sunday nights of football, of course, and Johnny sent me incredible messages that said that he had helped 32 people who had come over to his house to learn about how to get this sums of money from Third Stimulus that he had gotten. And guess how much money he had helped those 32 people? $850,000. Wow, that is incredible. That is what you can do as well. So please encourage other people in the live chat to pick up the phone and get these sums of money. Now let's go over those rounds. You want to get this money out as far as possible, so go all the way out to May. Can't get to May, then go to April. Can't go to April, then go to March. If you're new to this channel, this is what you're going to do. You are going to become a member. The membership link is under the video. Open that membership newsletter. It again features the 6 places I featured in this live chat, in this live video. That features where to reach out to. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. You're going to reach out to all those 6 places. You're going to say those key words and get those monies out as far as you can. Then, if you've gotten this money before and they say they're out of the money, then lean on the nonprofits. They're also featured in the newsletter. Get that money out as far as possible. The nonprofits are refunded with new pledges of money every spring across the board. And there you go. Meantime, personal commentary as we go into a big evening of Evenings at LALATE. It has been an exciting couple of weeks, and boy, the growth of this channel has been absolutely astronomical. You'll see a special report on this channel and its growth over the last 1.75 years. That's a little bit more than a year and a half, but a little bit less than 2 years. We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary in the next few days. But I want to personally thank all the viewership of this channel for your incredible positivity and your very happy kindness to one another. Last night I had a really good day for myself personally. You know, on air, when I deliver myself on air, you see this person and I smile and I look presentable. Sometimes it's hard to get to that happy spot before you press record. And you know that I was hospitalized for 3 weeks back in December. And it's still an effort to get back to where I was as a person medically before. And it's a whole effort. And some days I don't feel like smiling off camera. And sometimes you see me on camera and I'm still smiling. Today, I really feel great. I especially feel great because of what I saw last night. Last night's live chats were they were so inspirational. We had one viewer who was saying Happy Valentine's Day to a lot of people. And then one person said, "I don't have a Valentine to celebrate with. My husband has died." She didn't say if he had died recently, but she said he has passed. And then everyone said, "My sorry, I'll be your Valentine." Just incredible. Then another viewer, I mean, I can't imagine this. One viewer said, "My husband just went into surgery, so I'm watching the videos with you right now." My goodness, you know, I don't know about watching updates about Mitch calms people's nerves while someone else is in surgery, but just incredible. And everyone's reaction to that viewer was just so overwhelming, so much kindness. The reason why this channel has worked is because kindness works. Kindness works. Smiling works. In the earliest videos of this channel, when I was outside, which I may be going back out again because I'm thinking about sort of mixing it up and doing some different things, I used to laugh about, let's see, I don't want to hit the mic, this and this. Remember those people? There are people on YouTube who constantly have these images where it's like, oh, it's like that. Yeah, I don't walk around with that face. Do you make that face? You have to assume like, oh. And then there's people that, you know who they are. They have these stock channels and these and some do real estate channels and crypto channels, and everything is crash and burn. The market's going to die tomorrow. The stock market is going to go to smithereens tomorrow, and every image is like, oh, oh no. So that is their business model. Their business model is everything is going to be horrible, and they get you to tune in for horribleness. My business model is bikinis. So, my business model is bacon. So, and surfboards. So, yeah, needless to say, people never thought this would work. The business model has to be negativity. The business model has to be horrible, bad news. And needless to say, positivity is infectious. The more you're positive, the more inspirational, the more you deliver encouragement, the more you succeed. And that's why viewers have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of third stimulus. Get another round of money today. I want you to encourage other people. I haven't said this in a while, so I'm going to start saying it a little bit more. Go in the live chat right now. Encourage people to get another round of this money for third stimulus. Meantime, join me tonight on Evenings LA. We got the 5 o'clock show. Then 6 o'clock is Evenings Countdown. 7 o'clock is Street and Stimulus. 8 o'clock is then Evenings Extra. And with that, I want you part of this incredible family and subscribe. Bring LA to number 2 most watched financial news channel in America. Watch for that special report in the next few days, looking back at the first year and a quarter of this channel. What a historical run. Billions and billions of minutes watched on this channel across 2 presidential administrations, across countless pieces of legislation, across countless millions and millions of dollars, dozens of viewers, tens of millions of dollars of video viewers. It's just astronomical. Have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon, and I'll see you next on Evenings LA. I'll be in the live chat with you as well. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and stay with LALATE for more.